Hey yo yo.
Back, Hir-O.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters Hir-O. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gon' dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Sentakyu. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.
Smart.
Yeah,
Why
bro.
am I not the best at this?
I'm good at making words make sense, but they don't work when I rap because I don't have that talent. And so glad I didn't
Hilarious.
rap.
Oh man, that's funny.
I pressed record, by the way.
Oh,
Oh.
I did not know that. Hey man, what's going on, y'all?
Why go on?
Welcome to the SwordCast. If you guys pay attention to social media, I am
What happened?
dropping an EP on November 17th called The Vagabond EP. Shout out to, first of all, shout out to the Vagabond manga, which is just incredible, life-changing, which, you know, it inspired this project. Basically, you know, me and Hir-O are working on an album, and we are waiting on some features that are worth waiting for. So
Yes, we will just say that.
I decided
What's that? I'm only playing this because this was what was in the trailer, and there's no rapping in it.
Yeah, man. So I'm dropping an EP on November 17th called Vagabond EP. Hir-O's got some fire on there. This is one of the joints he made. Shout out to Vibe Sounds. He's got a joint on there. Shout out to Jay Wisdom. He's got a joint on there. Shout out to Dixon Hill. He's got a few joints in there. So it's dope, man. It's a quick strike project that we just kind of decided to do while we are waiting to finish this album. So boom.
So I'm looking in the camera and I'm realizing that I'm ashy. It's because I just took a shower because of hygiene and didn't put on any lotion. I forgot it's cold out now, so niggas are ashy.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna put on any now since I'm already sitting down and the podcast has already started. So fuck it. Hir-O is ashy today. That'll probably be the name of this episode.
Ashy Larry. Ashy Hir-O. Ashy Hir-O. Hilarious. Oh man, I miss the Chappelle show. It's good stuff.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dave Chappelle before he realized that before he tried to be the smartest person in the room all the time.
No. But yeah, man, what are you into, my friend? What did we do last? Oh yeah, last week it was the top 10 Cartoon Network shows. Good job again, you guys. You guys are starting to not disappoint.
Right. I feel like we're training you all well.
Hey, good job, bud.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, what are you into currently, my friend? I'm tired.
Yeah,
It's been
facts.
kind of a really long day for me today.
Yeah. What am I into? I'm playing my third playthrough of Cyberpunk.
Dog. Oh my god, guy's addicted to Cyberpunk.
Bro, that game is so fucking sweet, bro. It's just such an interesting story, bro. Game was super hyped up. Pooped the bed when it came out. If you were lucky enough to have a PS5 or a PC, you got a pretty good version of the game, enough to still be satisfied. Then it dies and goes away completely. And then suddenly the anime comes out and absolutely saves the entire IP, bro. Like,
Oh my god.
the anime is fire, and it not only does it encourage other people to get back into Cyberpunk, or new people to get back into Cyberpunk, it gets people like me who played it at first but haven't really gotten back around to it since it's been updated. And I had forgotten it had gotten updated so much. When I came back, bro, it was a totally different game. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, this game is sweet as fuck, dog. Like, had this been the version that came out, it would have been phenomenal. It might have still slightly disappointed, maybe the most disillusioned the fans, but it would have been met with like universal praise. Like, oh, this game, maybe not game of the year, but like a game of the year contender easily. So now I'm doing a Netrunner playthrough, which is basically like I basically don't use any weapons. I just hack into the enemy's database or to their mainframe.
Oh, you told me about this this type of playthrough before.
Yeah. I just be pulling up in front of people's cribs and just like tapping into like the security cameras and just picking off people from the car. I don't even get out. There's times where my character, I don't even have weapons on me. Like, I don't have any weapons. And there's one hack that you can do that's if those of y'all who've watched the game or who've watched the show, it's called cyber psychosis. You've seen the show. It's when the niggas start going crazy. You can make somebody have
lose their mind.
Yeah, have cyber psychosis.
That's
and
crazy.
They just start going nuts and
Berserk
killing everybody
mode.
around them. And then they kill themselves at the end. It's wild. I'm like, yo, that got dark, dog. Like,
wow.
yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, man, Cyberpunk's sweet. And there's so many endings, man. Like, I don't think I'm gonna play through again just because I need to do something else with my life. But I've now seen 3 of the 5 endings, and I'm gonna do the other. I finally did the secret ending last time.
Oh my god.
Yo, the secret. I mean, it's obviously a minor spoiler, but the way that you get to the secret ending is so ridiculous that there's no way anybody would have figured it out. Essentially, you have to have a specific conversation with Johnny Silverhand on a specific mission in a very specific way. That's like 4 hours before the end of the game, and then once you get to the end of the game, you're having. And so, super long story short, Johnny Silverhand. The whole story of the game is that you are an edge runner. You steal a biochip that has basically the spirit of Johnny Silverhand in it, and it kills. It's like you die, but you put the chip in your head, and Johnny Silverhand is like taking over your psyche the entire game. That's Keanu Reeves' character.
Okay.
So you basically are hallucinating and just seeing him, and you guys are having conversations with each other throughout the entire game. He's sort of like your like partner, but he doesn't really do shit because you're the only person that can see him. So anyways, you have a long journey with him, and at the end of the game, there's a question that he asks you, and you can either choose to do the final mission one way or the other way. And the way that you get to the secret ending is just by not saying shit for 5 minutes. You just literally don't make a decision and just put your controller down for 5 whole minutes. And then he'll be like, it's kind of a hard decision, huh? How about we do this? And then there's like a whole different route you can take. And it's crazy. It's really, really dope. I think that's the intended ending. It's a really, really dope ending. It's sort of reminiscent to how the Edge Runners anime ended, kinda. Not exactly the same, but I definitely felt Edge Runners vibes from it. And it sets up the not the sequel necessarily, but it sets up the DLC, which comes out next year. So the Cyberpunk story is not over yet. Even after I beat this, there'll be a DLC coming out, and I will play that shit today. All right, here comes more Cyberpunk. Hey, I'm fucking addicted. What am I, a fucking piece of shit? And then there's the sequel has been greenlit, a full blown sequel. So I may never play another video game again, bro.
Yeah, the Cyberpunk anime really like put this game on a life support and just brought it back to life.
And just one more thing. Another reason why I'm so dedicated.
I was super randomly just put on Fist of the North Star last night when I was going to sleep. So I was dying at that part.
So, Peep, I don't know if you know this, Novelist, but another reason why I'm so fiercely loyal to this IP is because of this nigga. This is the creator of Cyberpunk. That nigga is
black
as fuck all the way. And so
awesome.
We about to get this nigga paid, bro. Buy Cyberpunk, watch the anime. You know what I'm saying? Mike Pondsmith, GOAT.
Let's go. I like it. Boom. I have been into Berserk. Hey, man. So I have officially, I was talking about last episode, how I went back and kind of revisited the old, the 90s Berserk anime, which, and I said, it's a classic, it's a masterpiece, it's really good. And then finally started reading the manga, man, and it is amazing. It's so good. I think when I think about the Berserk anime, right, and there's a lot of details that are not in that 90s anime that are missing from the manga. Now that I've read through the entire arc, the Golden Age arc, that is, which is the arc that's done in the anime from the 90s. And man, this is one of the best arcs ever. But they leave out a lot of details, so I feel like you got to read the manga version of it, to get everything. But yeah, man, like, I've been reading Berserk, bro. I've been reading it a lot. I just finished the Conviction arc. How
close are you to done?
I don't think I'm that close. I mean, so I said last time, they got the individual volumes, but they also have the deluxe joints, the big, they're so pretty, man. They're like, it's like black, and they got they're like hardcover. They're really sweet, man. So I went and I got a few of the deluxe ones. There's 3 volumes in one of those. So I finished reading I'm on so I had already started reading it online, and then I got a couple of the smaller ones, and now I'm reading those. So I'm on the 6th, like, I'm at the end of, I'm almost on 7. I'm at the end of the 6th, like, big deluxe one. So
okay.
But yeah, so Berserk, man, like, it's so good. And, I think about it kind of, I was talking about this with somebody, about how I really love Kenshin too, the anime, but I think I would take the Berserk anime from the 90s over it, because I feel like Kenshin does this thing where it's like, this is kind of like a mature anime for, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they don't lean all the way into it.
Oh yeah,
Berserk is like, this ain't for kids.
Yeah, it's just for grown folks.
Yeah, like, this isn't for kids at all.
I did like, though, speaking of Kenshin, I liked in that trailer that it was bloody, which means that, all right.
Yeah, that's how the OVAs are. The saddest thing ever. But
shout out to Kenshin's master chopping that nigga
into chili meat.
Fucking put him through a cheese shredder, dog. A cheese grater.
Pushed him through a screen door.
There's this episode of Futurama where the nigga Zap Brannigan was trying to get his soldiers hyped up for battle, and he was like, "Some of you are gonna die for your country. Others of you are going to get pushed through a fine mesh screen for your country." That shit had me cracking up, dog. Shout out to Zach Brannigan.
Oh, man. But yeah, man, Berserk, it's incredible. Just the artwork, man. Like, obviously, y'all know how much I love Vagabonds. Like, that manga changed my life. Favorite thing just ever. But whenever you talk to somebody about Vagabond, you look up something about Vagabond, it's always like Berserk's always right there. People always mention them together. So, you know, this is, and you know, there's a lot of similarities between Musashi and Guts from Berserk. So, you know, I was surprised. You know, it's a good feeling when things are hyped up and you check them out and they deliver on the hype. You know what I'm saying? Berserk definitely does that. Like just the Golden Age arc, man. Like it is a great story, but the event that happens in it, which is the eclipse, you know, and it's just this event that happens in it, and I just think that it is like one of the greatest like character building things that I've ever seen in any you know piece of fiction ever. And you know, it's like I'm always impressed with fantasy stuff because, and you know, Berserk is like some dark fantasy, you know, but there's so much that goes into it. Like, remember we talked about that, how these guys have to like, they almost have to, they create like their own mythology, and then they have to like build these worlds and have to build these, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a little harder to do something like that because, you know, a lot of anime stuff are, you know, takes place in a real place, you know what I mean? So when you read something like this, and it's like they create all this lore and all this, you know, their own mythology and these creatures and these, you know, like one of the arcs, the Lost Children arc, they basically have like their own like fairy tale that you know what I'm saying, that's like kind of what the story is based off of, and it's like it's just good, man. It's like the action's crazy. Guts is just a great character, man. A lot of similarities between him and Musashi, man, for sure. But I love it. Like I said, I'm reading through it. I don't want to like go too far into it right now, but one day I'll probably take some time and break down some of the stories, because there's some really good stuff, man. Especially the Golden Age arc. So far, that's still my favorite. The Eclipse event, crazy. It literally, like the Eclipse, bro. It literally changes the genre of Berserk, and like
Wow.
because it goes from like, oh, you know, this is like a fantasy manga, you know, because up until that point, there's no demons or anything, you know, like, and when people see them, they're not normal, you know, so they're like, yo, what is that? Like, why is there, you know, so when the eclipse happens, it goes from fantasy to like kind of horror. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's amazing. I love it. Shout out to Berserk. Shout out to Guts.
So actually, before we move off that, I wanted to have a brief conversation about something that we talked about off air. Something that I've been on this for a while, and I think you finally might be getting closer to where I'm at with it. How are you feeling about shonen anime these days, bro?
Oh man, so that's a good question, and I think that's one of the main reasons why it's like I was already kind of I've been off like this. I've been kind of like just off shonen for a minute, and I don't know if it's like. And like we did talk about this, and I think this is one of the main reasons why I was like so drawn to finally checking out Berserk, is because I'm just kind of burnt out on the shonen. And I don't know if it's like the formula itself, or if I'm just kind of like want to see some adults doing some adult stuff.
Yeah, man.
And you know what I'm saying? I kind of don't want to watch a 10-year-old kid You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best when we talked about it the other day, where it was just kind of like the shonen that I will watch nowadays it's got to be like world class, the way that like Demon Slayer and My Hero started off, or it's got to be the stuff that I started off with when I was that age.
Yeah, because now it's for sure. It's just I'm just not. I just don't have the I don't know if I don't have the patience for it, or like I said, I just want to see some adults doing some adult stuff.
And again, we are both like lifetime fans of shonen. Like obviously, it like is super foundational to our fandom, and so it's no slight on it, but it just means that as adults, right? Like at a certain point, your tastes change. And I don't know if you ever grow out of it, but you definitely change your expectations where like now, in order to watch shonen, I have to like, I don't watch it through the same lens that I watch like Game of Thrones, where there's like hardcore character development and like really kind of sweaty, detailed plot points. Like I have to recognize it's gonna be the stuff. It's gonna be the stuff. Yeah. And there's you like that stuff, right? This is stuff that you liked when you were 11, 12 years old, and like that kid is still there inside of you. So there's still plenty to get from it, but like don't expect it to do nothing crazy,
right?
And in the moments where it happens to do something crazy, that's a plus. You know what I'm saying? But I don't go into it expecting that anymore.
Right? Yeah, for sure. I think I'm definitely a little burnt out on shonen anime right now, so
yeah,
I think that's kind of why I'm got really into Berserk, and especially after I read Vagabond, it's like I want more of that.
Yeah, man, more adult, more seinen anime. Is that what it's called?
I think so. Seinen anime or something. Like that. Yeah. So that's true, man. I think I'm just burnt out on the formula.
Yep.
Like you said,
cyberpunk anime was sort of like that too.
Yeah, and like you said, it's obviously the ones that we came up with they're always gonna be favorites of mine, and the characters that we've had with us, through so many stages of our lives, of course, but it would take a lot for me to like dive into a new one. You know what I mean?
Yes. And also, I think we talked about this, but I think we both forgot. Did you know that there's a Witcher anime on Netflix?
I do. I haven't checked it out.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I know for sure that I didn't watch it, but I don't know if it's going to be the 3D weird shit or not, but I mean, I think one of us should probably check it to see
I'll check it out.
What it's about.
As long as it's not the 3D weird
stuff. It looks 3D.
Why are we doing that to everything?
Hey, I want to save some money because I'm fucking cheap.
I just don't like it.
Hunting monsters for coin wasn't enough.
Actually,
it kind of looks like the Castlevania animation.
The only thing.
I don't know that I would call this an anime necessarily.
Oh, it's like one of those really good animated cartoons.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks still worth checking out, but it's not quite in the anime style.
Yeah, I'll check it out, man.
Yeah, it's not 3D though.
I'll have to check that out.
Anyways.
Yeah, man, Berserk, amazing. I'm gonna be doing that probably for quite some time because it's a pretty long story. So
boom,
I'm gonna be reading Berserk for a while, but I love it, man. Glad I checked it out. Shout out to Gus. Boom. Quick wrestling recap, man. Orange Cassidy finally has some gold in AEW.
Yes, sir.
In my opinion, I mean, this is one of the guys. This is one of we talk about Darby Allin, we talk about Jungle Boy, we talk about MJF. We always talk about like the young tier of AEW guys. Mm-hmm. I think Orange Cassidy's up there, man. Like this guy is super over. He's been super over ever since he's been in the company. I thought he should have had. I really thought he should have had a shot at the TNT title. We never got it. Had the best match at Forbidden Door against Will Ospreay.
My God, so good, dog. Nobody expected that shit to be as good as it was.
His gimmick is world class, one of the best gimmicks of all time, and the funniest part about him is he's an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
He has this hilarious gimmick, and then he just flips the switch. Like, he can go. He's a really dope in the ring. So
now he did beat your boy. So both of our boys.
He
so
did.
How do you feel about that?
He did. Pac is my guy, but like, I love Orange Cassidy, man. Like, he's my guy too. So I'm not mad at it, you know. And
it was a great match.
The match was fire. Orange Cassidy, long overdue, man. I think I'm interested to see if they do a Pac, because I feel like he is. I told you his living situation, I think, kind of messes up his booking because he doesn't live in the United States. So,
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be gone for a while now, or if he's gonna, you know what I mean. But I think he's definitely somebody who needs to be in a title picture. Like, he's a beast. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how that goes. But it just AEW's just been. But but shout out to Orange Cassidy, man. Like, that's dope. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. So I'm glad he finally got some gold, man. He's awesome. I'm really hoping that they do some things where he like has title defenses and like forgets the belt because he doesn't care enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, forgets to bring the belt to the ring, or he like drags it on the ground or something.
Oops, I forgot it. I don't know. It's somewhere. It's in the car. I don't know.
You know, or they need to have Trent's mom bring it.
Oh, put it in the van,
bro. They need to have her pull up on the.
You forgot your belt. You forgot your belt.
Come on, man. That'd be so awesome.
I love how she gets the show.
She does. She's funny.
Just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna fucking, I'm in on it. Let's just have some fun.
I love it, man. There's a promo. It's old. It's probably like 2 years old now. But like back when remember when Miro first came and he was the best man, and they were beefing with best friends. They're beefing with Trent and Orange Cassidy and Chuck. And there's this they were doing this like backstage segment. Trent was just like pissed off. I don't know why. And Miro just goes, bro, why you so hot? Like, chill out. It was funny. But I love Orange Cassidy, man. So that's my guy. I'm glad he got some gold, man. But AEW's just been weird without Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Man,
these dudes did a show in Canada without Kenny Omega, bro. These dudes did the 3rd anniversary show without Kenny and the Young Bucks. It's so weird without them there, man. I don't know. It's weird.
So what? Have you heard any news?
I mean, they're saying that it's like because of this illegal stuff with the. So that's why they're like still holding them out, because I guess I don't know.
Somebody press charges?
I don't know. I mean, I seriously don't know.
Who the fuck? What so-called wrestling tough guy press charges?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Y'all soft as fuck, bro. Come on, bro. That shit is so corny, dog.
100%, dude.
Y'all niggas is wrestlers, dog. I mean, what's up? Like, y'all, the whole thing is wrestling isn't fake; it's scripted.
I don't know.
A nigga punch you in the face and all of a sudden,
call the cops.
Right. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. Whatever.
Punch you in the face after you was talking crazy shit.
Crazy.
Like, what?
Come on, CM Punk.
Crazy shit, bro. Just cause you was mad that niggas is tired of you kind of already. The fuck out of here.
So weird, man.
I wanted to see MJF beat your fucking ass.
It's such a weird thing, man. But yeah, man. So New Japan had this show called Royal Quest, which was heard it was fire. They did one Royal Quest. It's a show that they do in the UK. They did one. I think the first one was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was fire. I think that the first one they did Okada versus Suzuki, I think maybe was the main event. But Royal Quest is dope. Y'all love UK wrestling fans. They did the second one a couple weeks ago, but they didn't put it on the New Japan site, so I've been kind of mad because FTR had a match against Aussie Open, who is the guys that Ospreay was teaming with, and when he was doing the AEW stuff, and everybody says it's like the best tag match ever, and I haven't been able to watch it. But they finally put it on New Japan World, so I'm gonna watch it probably tonight when I go home.
Why couldn't you watch it?
Because it wasn't on the New Japan site. Like I don't know why they took so long to put the show up. They just now put it up though, so I'm gonna watch it. So yeah, WWE, man. Like I said, I keep actually giving them props. WWE's been solid. It's been really good. Seth Rollins, I know we make fun of this guy all the time. Yeah! But he's actually having a great year. Like I think if we're talking like wrestling MVP of this year, I would definitely put him up there in like the top 3. I think he deserves to be up there. He's having, I mean, out of all the WWE guys, you know what I mean? Like the top WWE guys per se, he's by far the best wrestler to me. I think he's by far the best in-ring wrestler out of all like the WWE top guys. He's had some good matches. He's now the United States champion. Like the match he had with Bobby Lashley was dope. And it just seems like, you know, now that Triple H is here, he's kind of turning this guy loose and let him do his thing. So that's cool. So WWE's been good, man. I can't be mad. Also, Bianca Belair is she better than Charlotte?
Bro, what the hell? Yeah, not even close. You kidding me?
Thank you.
I can't stand. You know I can't stand Charlotte.
I can't stand her either. But I think that we need to give Bianca Belair the same hype that people give Charlotte, because
absolutely,
if you really want to get down to it, she's a better athlete.
Yes,
she's a better wrestler. And when I say that, yes, Charlotte has good matches, but a lot of people don't like Charlotte. Is kind of a spot wrestler. Like she doesn't really, you know what I mean. She gets kind of clunky.
Yeah,
in between spots. I think,
bro, that's the difference between being a great wrestler, like an elite wrestler, and a good wrestler. Is that
man.
Can you be not a robot in between your spots?
Yeah, man. And I think Bianca Belair does everything Charlotte does better.
Yeah, agreed.
And you know, so. And she's having a great run right now. Extreme Rules was dope. Shout out to Bray Wyatt. He's back. I think Bray Wyatt coming back was so dope because it was just really dope to hear the crowd response. I love him.
I do too. And I'm kind of glad that I haven't been watching super heavy, but they've gotten rid of the Fiend altogether, or is he still hinting at it?
So no, he's not. The Fiend hasn't been. As far as I know, the Fiend hasn't been rung up. I think that. I think the Fiend was a cool idea, but I think Vince ruined it. Because
for sure, it was way too high.
Because Vince
it was too high-minded for Vince to really understand.
And because when Vince gets something like that, he just runs it into the ground. You know what I'm saying? And he just did too much with it. I don't really want to see the Fiend. I just want to see Bray Wyatt, bro.
Yeah.
I was a huge Wyatt family fan. I think he's a genius. He's a character genius. He's a genius on the mic. Like
and a good wrestler.
He can wrestle for a big guy. Got a sweet finishing move. Like I say it all the time, bro. We say it all the time. WWE's biggest drop ball ever was having him lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So I'm hoping they do right by him. That would be dope. But yeah, man, WWE is good now. So it's kind of weird. Haven't said that in years.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, what do you mean it's good now?
I have not committed to starting to watch it full time yet.
Yeah.
But,
oh God, I don't know. That boy Brock Lesnar did attack Bobby Lashley. You know he's BBB, triple B, Black Beater Brock. That's your new gimmick. You're gonna beat up all the darkies, all the blacks.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'll check in. I think at this point, I got to the point where I didn't even care about the pay-per-views. Right. So I'm gonna take it slow. I might start watching the pay-per-views again, but it'll have to take a lot.
You gotta ease yourself back in.
There's got to be a person for me to really get invested in.
No, and you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, bro? Is like since so many people have left WWE, I really have not had that guy for me.
Yeah,
that's and like all my favorites have left. So
right.
I haven't really had a guy that I've been really invested in. You know, Io Shirai's back. Her name's Io Sky now, but she's back. You know, I love her. I love Asuka.
That's whack that they changed her name.
I
in my
know,
opinion.
so whack. I love Bianca Belair. I do love everything that Io's doing with Dakota Kai and Bailey. That's dope. So I like seeing her back. She's honestly probably my favorite right now. I do like Seth. Seth Rollins has been really, like I said, he's been really dope this year. So he's probably kind of one of my other guys. And then Johnny Gargano coming back too is dope. He's somebody I really like too. So we'll see, man. But I want to see, like, Mustafa Ali is so good. Like, when are we gonna stop? You know what I'm saying? When are we gonna actually let this guy do something, man? He's dope.
Yeah, agreed. I really, that he might be the guy. If they start giving him something to work with, he might be the guy that
Yeah, and Walter too, man. Or Gunther, as his name is now. He been tearing it up, man. Him and Sheamus. So yeah, WWE's good, flat out. So, I think if we not gonna have Bray Wyatt be Roman Reigns, I think Gunther is. I'm not calling him that. I think Walter is a very good choice B.
Okay.
So yeah, man. Wrestling. Boom. House of the Dragon. How was it?
It was great, man. We are getting ready for this was the penultimate episode. It was slower, but I understood why. They needed to set the stage for the final episode, which is next week, and it looks to be epic. Bro, this whole so the king is finally dead, and he was he's been basically dead for the entire last half of the whole series. Like, he's just been deteriorated. I don't know what kind of illness he has, but he literally had like a skeleton face for the last episode. Like I'm not kidding, bro. Hold on, wait a minute. You think I'm bullshitting? Watch this. Viserys. How you spell his name? Viserys face. Look at this nigga. He was wearing a mask because this is what his face looked like while he was still alive.
How's that even possible?
I don't know, because he's got Restorosi AIDS or cancer or something. I don't know what the problem is. Either way, he's dead. Ass off for him, bro. As an actor, ass off, bro. He was phenomenal in this series. Very, very good. So now we're at the point where he's dead, and so like the whole that was the powder keg that has finally exploded, because the entire premise of this whole show was that Viserys, the king that was sick, did not have a male heir, and he named his daughter his heir. It's the first time there's ever been, will have been the first time there's ever been a queen.
Yeah, you said, yeah.
Right? And then after he was named, named her heir.
Why are people, I mean, I know why, but.
Are you about to be surprised at sexism?
I guess. Like, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, now, since he did that, and since he named her as his heir, was he doing that to piss people off on purpose, or was he just looking at it as like, I mean, yeah, this is.
It was too. I mean, he tried to have a few more kids. He only had 2 kids with his first wife. And he tried to, but she was not unable to have babies, and she died in childbirth, having his son, which would have been Rhaenyra's younger brother, his true-born son.
Who wanted to get?
No.
Oh.
No, this was in the first episode.
Wanted to go out in a blaze.
But it was a similar situation, because she was having the same sort of trouble in childbirth as Emma was, who is Viserys' first wife. The problem was they did basically a C-section, but imagine doing a C-section in like the medieval Dark Ages, where like it will probably kill the woman, the mother, and the baby, and that's
the person doing it.
Right, like everybody in the room dies. Right. So that's basically what happened, is that she died in childbirth, and so did the baby. So now Viserys has no heir, and that kind of fucked him up. Like he kind of died inside at that point. And in that grief, he was like, yo, I've been overlooking my daughter. She's dope. Everybody loves her. She should be the queen. I ain't gonna worry about it no more. But then Alicent Hightower, her father, who is a power hungry crazy person, just like everybody else in Game of Thrones, basically used his daughter as a pawn to seduce the king, and then they had a couple of babies together later. So now he does have a true-born son from a different wife, and so now that's the whole premise, right? You've got Rhaenyra, who was named queen, named the heir, and now you've got a true-born son, which to the rest of the realm looks to be the better claim. It looks better on paper because women are trash, apparently.
Yeah.
And so the problem though was that Viserys was a man of his word, and from day one, as soon as he made that claim as Rhaenyra as his heir, he was like, "That's it. Like, I'm not changing my mind. Like, I don't care. I don't care that I had a son. Like, I don't care what the Alicent and her father are plotting. You are the heir, no matter what." But on his deathbed, as he was dying, and this is a lot to explain. They, in the very first episode, they talk about a vision that Viserys has, or that Aegon the Conqueror has, about how, basically alluding to the plot of the Game of Thrones books and TV show about the White Walkers and how there needs to be a Targaryen on the throne to keep everybody alive from the long night, blah, 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 blah. And I thought that was kind of trash. I thought, like, yo, you don't need to do that. Like, why would you add that plot point in? It has nothing to do with the story. So I just thought that was a little bit of a whack cinema sin, kind of just something to say to get people a little interested.
Right.
Turns out there was a very good reason why they added that in. In the episode, last week's episode, Rhaenyra visits Viserys as he's in his deathbed, and she asks him, "Do you believe in Aegon's dream?" Aegon being the original Aegon the Conqueror, who conquered Westeros 100 years ago. And he never got around to answering the question. So at the end of the last episode, he was really high on, like, basically opium because he was sick and, like, needed pain medication, and started talking to Alicent, his wife, but thought that he was talking to his daughter, and answered the question finally by saying, like, you know, he said, "You asked me before, did I believe in Aegon?" And he says, "Yes, I do. Like, I need Aegon." He basically said something that Alicent misinterpreted as, "I need Aegon to be king," but he thought he was talking to Rhaenyra about a different Aegon. And so now they turned that plot point in that adding of that story into a very useful plot point as to how Alicent misunderstood and misinterpreted Viserys' dying words, and she thought that he was basically saying with his dying breath that her son Aegon II should be king and not Rhaenyra. So, like, and from her perspective, he changed his mind at the last second, but he didn't. But she doesn't know that. So, super long story, already long. That's what, like, pops everything off. And as soon as he dies, the schemes, they immediately were like, yo, like, fuck Rhaenyra, because she already left. She was already back at Dragonstone. As soon as the fucking king dies, straight up, like, yo, fuck it. We're going to find Aegon. He's going to be king. Fuck the bullshit. And now the battle, that's essentially what they set up in this last episode. And now, like, Rhaenyra's about to find out that she got her birthright stolen, and the shit's finna hit the fan. So it's a hard thing to explain if you haven't watched it. I'm yammering a little bit, but the point is, this has been a phenomenal show. They used this episode to really set up some crazy shit that's about to happen in the final episode of the season, which is going to be next week, and I cannot wait.
You said so the final is next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. That's what's up, man. Rings of Power, the finale.
Yes, sir.
It was. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was fire.
Definitely my favorite episode.
There was a couple of swerves in there.
Double.
There was a double Swervington in there.
Los Dubles, god damn it.
I mean, so spoiler alerts. But yeah, man, I gotta keep it. I gotta be honest. I did not think that we would get a Sauron reveal in this show. I didn't think they would give that to us. And they did.
Yep.
And man, was it fantastic.
It was. We mentioned earlier that it could have been Halbrand. Turns out
it
right.
was. I mean, so the Sauron. We'll talk about this. Let's talk about that first. Obviously, it's the biggest thing. The Sauron reveal was so good. I mean, and it was insane because if you know a little bit about Lord of the Rings lore, you know the way that the story goes is that the legend has always been that, you know, the Dark Lord Sauron was able to, you know, get in the ear of Caleb Brimdor, who was the elf who, you know, began the architecture for making the Rings of Power. And once Halbrand gets involved in that process, I think everybody was like, "Oh no,
it's him!"
And how good was it to see him instantly just go from like once you started suspecting it, your whole entire, you know, perspective of him changes, and you're just like, I don't know about this guy, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You motherfucker. You got us, you bitch.
And it was just really dope, like how it came about. You know, Galadriel goes to she kind of sends somebody to go check some history, do some research. You know, and they find out that he was kind of, you know, not a real, you know, person who he was.
Okay, I do got one cinema sin here, bro. The librarian or whatever comes into that room with his ass stapled on, bro.
Oh my
God. Get the fuck out of here! Like, you don't need to. Why did he have to come in? You know what I'm saying? Just ass on, bro.
Clown.
Bolted on. Talking about here's your fucking.
Here's the thing you asked
obviously
for.
Tipping
off.
Oh,
is that the guy who you said not to?
Get the fuck out of here. Move. Get out of here.
Amateur, dog.
Right.
But yeah, man, that reveal was awesome. And then, you know, we got the reveal of the stranger. Obviously being one of the Maiar, right? We knew that. We have conflicting theories here. We have conflicting theories here. Hir-O is under the impression that this character is gonna be Gandalf.
It seems obvious to me. It seems like if it's not Gandalf, then they're gonna piss a lot of people off. I mean, they gave you 2 verbatim Gandalf quotes at the end, and it's just kind of like, all right.
And I think
what the fuck are we doing?
I think it's Sauron. I think it's Sauron, who was the White Wizard before Gandalf. I just, you know, they threw the little Easter egg in there with calling him the Wise, and that was Sauron's name amongst, you know, the other wizards. And I also just think, with this story, I feel like the story to be told would be how Sauron was able to get Saruman under his, you know, his eye of darkness. How he was able to get him under his control and have him playing on his team. So and also as far as I know, Saruman came to Middle Earth before Gandalf did, but
I did a bunch of research. I think they came around the same time. He might have been first by a little bit, but what they might do to fuck everyone over is make them the Blue Wizards, who were the Maiar that came before in the Second Age before Gandalf or Radagast or Saruman.
Okay.
But my thing is, like, if this is true, like they painted themselves into a corner in that, like, if it's not Gandalf, then now you've told a really weird story. Like, you set up like this whole relationship between the good wizard and the hobbits, And like that's Gandalf's whole thing is that he fucks with the hobbits hardcore. And like Saruman doesn't know shit about hobbits. You know what I'm saying? Like in the movies, he seemed to be pretty unaware of how hobbits operated. And like, so why like do this thing where you create this really touching story about this demigod who builds this super earnest relationship with these hobbits, only to be like, just kidding, it's not him. we fucked you. Like, get out of here. Like, okay, stop trying to outsmart the fucking fans, bro. Like,
oh man,
can't do that in 2020. We're gonna be mean to you on Twitter. That's what happens now.
Oh man, fun. Hilarious.
Now we gotta wait 7 years for season 2 to find out.
Probably, but love the finale. It was dope.
This is a very good. I love it when the finale is the best episode, bro.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It was my favorite episode, at least.
So we'll see where it goes from here, man. But
yes, sir.
Let's go, man. Last week, you guys didn't let us down, man. You guys did a good job of creating the definitive top 10 Cartoon Network shows. So what's going on with Cartoon Network, right? Because at first I saw people that were like freaking out and they were saying that the station had been bought and that it wasn't going to be a thing anymore. But what really happened was what really happened? It's not an independent like network anymore, right?
Unclear. I mean, I think it's never been its own network. It's always been a part of the Turner network.
Yeah.
So hold on one second. I'm going to call a friend here.
Okay. Phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Assuming that he's not.
They would always phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Right.
Hello?
All right. Hello?
Tommy, dude. I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and I need your help.
Right. I totally didn't know about it. But
dude, sick, dude. What do you need?
God damn it. I was trying to call Edmund, but he didn't pick up.
Come on, Ed.
He's gonna watch the podcast and then remember this phone call and be like, shit. I'm gonna try him one more time. He's probably asleep.
Wake up.
Up. What happened? Hold up. I'm finna call because it did one of those things where it made it seem like he was trying to call me at the same time.
The old Professor Xavier interference.
My mind. My mind. Or nope. Or nah.
While he's doing that, so y'all did a good job.
Yeah.
The top 10 list that you guys came up with. Was, the list that y'all gave us. Adventure Time at number 10, which
solid,
man. Like I said, I think this list represented multiple generations of Cartoon Network fans. So we had Adventure Time at number 10. We had Steven Universe at number 9. At number 8,
too low.
I think too low as well. Number 8, we had Amazing World of Gumball. Number 7, Codename Kids Next Door. Number 6, Craig of the Creek. Number 5, Powerpuff Girls. Number 4, Regular Show. Number 3, Ed, Edd n Eddy. Number 2, Dexter's Lab. And number 1 was Samurai Jack.
That's good, man. The top of that list is super solid, man.
Samurai Jack, man. Such a good show. Fire opening theme as well. But yeah, man, I think it was cool to talk about Cartoon Network because like we said, there's so many different like groups of shows, like we talked about how it kind of started with like those old like Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you know what I'm saying, that they were showing. And then it was like that first cartoon generation, right? Where we were getting like Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls and misogynist Jim Bro or Johnny Bravo.
Right. Misogynist Dog, hilarious. There's no way that show could fly these days.
No, absolutely chance. Not.
I had to like not include it on my list for that reason, just because it was like too much.
Yeah, bro. Johnny Bravo was very
that nigga
not
was a
good.
fucking predator.
And I mean, even when I was a kid, like
It seemed weird.
it was weird to me.
And like,
yeah.
bro, like she said no, nigga. Like, the fuck out of here. Like, I'm 6 and I know better than that, goddamn
bro,
it.
like, why is he being so persistent?
Right.
But yeah, man. So let's get into our personal
Yes, sir.
top 10 list here. Starting with the beat god himself. What you got?
So I actually did 2 lists because
Hey.
it wasn't clear if Adult Swim was allowed or not, but I found out later that it was.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go from the Adult Swim list, which is my real list.
Bang.
So number 10, Two Stupid Dogs.
Hey. Yo.
That show was so
funny.
bro.
Oh my gosh. Please. I need y'all, if you are not familiar with Two Stupid Dogs, I need you to go find the cheesecake episode.
Mm-hmm.
So hilarious.
Two Stupid Dogs is one of the
oh my god.
for some reason, like that show and like Ren and Stimpy, I remember being like me and Edmund at his house eating cereal Saturday morning cartoons at
Like
shows.
Two Stupid Dogs was legitimately like, there's like kid laugh where you just kind of laugh at everything that
Yeah.
Like Two Stupid Dogs was like legitimately funny. Like that show was very funny.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Very, very good show. It reminded me a lot of Ren and Stimpy, except it was like a little bit safer.
Yeah,
like a little bit cleaner.
It was way safer.
Yeah. But it was a similar type of stupid ass humor.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Dog, number 9, bro. This show is super. Shout out to Josh because I know he fucks with it too. This show is super underrated, dog. Metalocalypse, bro.
Oh my god,
dog! That show is so good, dog. It's so. Not only is it funny,
it was hilarious. It also was on a couple lists. That show,
it was good, and also, bro, like straight up, I fuck with death metal because of that show. Like the soundtrack, and I'm not like a legitimate death metal head, so I'm not like an authority figure at all. But from what I understand, the music in Metalocalypse is like legit. Like death metal niggas fuck with it. Like
right,
like that's hardcore. And it was some songs on there that was sweet. And bro, the main character's name is Nathan Explosion, bro. Like that nigga's name is Nathan. Nathan Explosion. Shout out to Metalocalypse, good ass show. All right, bro. Number 8, dog. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. Dog, this show had me dying all through high school and college.
What the
bro.
damages that retain Harvey Birdman? Shout out to Doom.
Dog.
Doom with the Harvey Birdman references, man. Bro. Dog, Danger Doom, bro. That's a great, super slept on album.
Man, Harvey Birdman, hilarious. I discovered Stephen Colbert because of that show. He plays the one-eyed chief, or the president of the law firm. His like signature laugh, ha ha ha. Got that. I used to do that shit all through high school. I'm sure I used to get on my friends' nerves with that shit. Harvey Birdman, goddamn it, attorney at law. Number 7, Powerpuff Girls.
Hey.
The show was for boys, so I don't care what nobody says. It was a show that was obviously made to have mass appeal, but like they followed. If there was a such thing as like a cartoon shonen formula, it followed it to a T, and it was absolutely made with boys in mind. Like, hey, like it's okay for you to like this show. Stop being weird. And you know what? I liked it. Shit was dope. Powerpuff Girls were awesome.
Had some really good villains too.
Mojo Jojo, goddamn it. Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo.
It was me. That nigga had a mental nervous breakdown when he figured out that he was the one who created the Powerpuff Girls. It was me. It was me. All right, number 6, Craig of the Creek.
Let's go.
Black.
Yes, sir. Black.
And like just fucking just like black and like just wholesome, dog.
Dog, it's such a good show.
You know what I'm saying?
Craig of the Creek on Saturday. Craig of the Creek.
Number 5, Adventure Time.
Let's go.
Adventure Time was that was the first show that came out where I noticed like, oh shit,
They're back to making good stuff.
this is hilarious. Like
Yeah, man.
I fuck with this heavy, and you know why? There was one particular joke I wasn't checking for it, so I didn't know. Like it was like some episode in the middle of the series where the Ice King. There was a little spinoff, a little side episode where the Ice King was like trying to give his one of the penguins, Gunther, a bath because he was stinky. And then at the end of the episode, he realized that he was the one that was stinky. But the thing that was funny was how he described it. He was like, this nigga said, "I'm sorry, Gunther, I thought you had a stank booty." And I was like, wait a minute. That's what we used to say when we were kids. Stank booty, dog. That shit had me dying, dog. Adventure Time.
And Adventure Time is we talked about how you're gonna mention this show later on your list, but we talked like it was dope to see cartoons start to have kind of that, starting to do like bigger stories and having like big time lore within the show, and you know what I'm saying. So that was another show that was doing that too.
Absolutely. So yeah, where are we now? Number 4, I believe. No, yeah, number 4. Samurai Jack.
Real quick, dog. Just Adventure. So my first experience with Adventure Time was Abracadaniel in the wizard battle.
Abracadaniel, dog.
Oh my gosh, bro. So funny. That show. Gotta love Adventure Time, man.
Yeah. No, Adventure Time is the shit. Number 4, Samurai Jack. Classic. One of those sort of inspired by anime, but not quite. Jindy Tartakovsky.
My name is Abracadaniel.
That nigga was struggling to make that rainbow.
He was like a low tier wizard, dog.
Yeah, level 1 wizard. Is that the episode where somebody had some nunchucks? Was it? I think it was like.
I think so, because it was the big wizard tournament.
Yeah, somebody had some nunchucks.
Oh my
gosh,
funny. Bro, my man's just struggling to make that little rainbow.
Yeah, bro.
Hilarious.
Samurai Jack, man. Jindy Tartakovsky.
GOAT.
Anime influences. The voice actor. Who was the voice actor who was like the GOAT voice actor?
My man.
Phil
Lamar, yeah.
Can't say enough about how good Samurai Jack is.
Man.
Number 3, man. The Boondocks.
Hey. Let's go.
Yo, dog. Riley, Huey, Grandpa. What was his name?
Man, if the Boondocks would have stuck, like, we talked about this too, like, if they would have just leaned all the way into the kind of like the action element of the show and like the anime influence, I think it could have been one of the greatest shows ever.
Yeah.
It really died down after the first 3 seasons are good.
Yeah,
I think
they lost
after Aaron Magruder
yeah.
left. Yeah,
they left. He left. I've since learned that Aaron Magruder is sort of an asshole, and he's brilliant, but like really hard to work with. I
didn't know that.
So I mean, it still sucks that he lost the show, but I think he could have kept it, but he was like being like really, and I get it, man. Like you don't want to change your art. Fuck it. Like they wanted him to make some changes. And he was like, nah, like I'm not making no changes ever. At all.
Ever.
And so they were like, all right, well, we still own the Boondocks IP, so we're gonna do it anyways. Fuck you. And they did, and it wasn't as good. The 4th season wasn't as good. It also, there's the political climate is like perfect for it to come back, man. And I heard it was coming back. Weren't they doing like a Boondocks revival or something?
That I don't know.
When HBO Max first got announced, I thought they were.
Would be dope if they did though.
Yeah,
bro. There is a
Adventure
Time episode where they make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I remember that episode.
It is so funny when he's like, "Let me explain the rules to you," and then it's like 10 hours later.
Yeah. All right, bro. This is the top 2 is where it gets really interesting, dog.
Ah, boy.
Not because of which 2 they are. I think anybody who knows me know which 2 they are.
I do.
It's the order in which they come in, dog.
The order. I don't know why I felt like that should have been said in Darth Sidious's voice.
All right, man. Number 2, dog. Coming in at number 2 and a little bit of an upset. Dexter's Laboratory.
What?
Wow.
This
Yo.
I was not expecting.
Dexter's Lab, bro. I mean, that was my favorite cartoon ever for the longest time.
This I was not expecting.
And I won't say much about it because I've already said plenty. Instead, I'll just play this.
Back together.
Hey!
Because I'm so much better. And every part of me is saying go get her. The 2 of us ain't gonna follow your rules. Come at us without any of your crazy tools. Let's go, just me and you. Let's go, just
Let's
one
go,
or two.
dog.
Go ahead and try to hit me if you ain't woe. 'Cause we see that our relationship is stable.
Man, this episode is so fire.
Dog, she's singing a dope ass song and beating the shit out of Jasper. Like, and it's like a good scrap too, bro.
Just come back you up and all you did twice the gem that you are. I am a man.
Oh man, is this the best moment in Steven Universe?
It's up there. It's in the top 5 for sure. There's some really crazy moments like later in the series when Steven starts kind of popping off and understanding his whole thing. Another one of the craziest moments was like the story about Jasper Garnet forming for the first time. That was crazy.
Yeah. Because Garnet is a fusion.
She is a fusion of Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
The reveal of Pink Diamond at the end was crazy. Yeah, it was. I mean, because this show was like, sure, like it was drawn like a kid show and had a lot of the kid show beats, but it was like a serious like sci-fi drama.
It was.
It had like arcs and like it had some shonen to it a little bit.
That's what I'm talking about.
And like
bro.
long form story, like payoffs from like 4 years in the past.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
This show really, like this Adventure Time, Craig the Creek.
Yeah.
These cartoons were really kind of doing the anime thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Long form storytelling, like character development and payoffs, and like, I used to actually get frustrated with Steven Universe, but anytime they did filler, I was like, yo, man, come on, move the plot forward,
let's
dog.
go
You know what I'm
with the
saying?
story,
Because that's the part that's cool.
Facts.
And then just the music is just absolutely incredible, bro. Music is so good.
Music is fire.
Although what's the Lapis Lazuli gets on my fucking nerves. She's such a downer. But again, that's her whole character, is that she's blue. I get it. She just didn't work for me. Anyways, Steven Universe, number 1.
Bang. Shout out to Garnet. That's what I was playing with on
yes, on Multiverses.
Multiverses. What's going on with that game?
Cyberpunk is what's going on with that game. What game, dog?
This guy.
I acknowledge no king but the king in the north, whose name is Cyberpunk, dog. Yeah. Also, Garnet is a black superhero, like flat out. Like, there's no question about it. There's no like gray area. She is in the ranks of black superheroes. So let's get it popping.
Love it. Surprise! I do have to admit, I'm surprised that you went
I was too. I didn't make that decision until I made it, and I was like,
I thought you were just gonna be. I didn't make that decision. I was gonna be like, you kind of literally did.
Yeah, no, like literally, who else could have possibly?
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it was me. It was me. But I was like, yo, like, I think for how I'm feeling in this moment, like, Dexter is always going to be more legendary, but in terms of like reaching the highs that Steven Universe reached, in addition to just being super good, like consistently, it takes the top spot, man. There it is.
Boom! I like it, man. I'm not mad at it.
Because there was only one or two episodes of Dexter that did something like Steven Universe. That episode where he has to go to Japan and like
yes,
form Voltron. That's like easily my favorite episode.
Awesome.
And the reason why it was so good is because it was like, yo, like this is like a kind of a long term payoff kind of like shit that happened a long time ago. And they had a whole like, instead of like the 10-minute episode, it was a whole half-hour episode.
Yep. And
so like that was and Jindy, like maybe was the guy who started that shit.
Let's go.
Samurai Jack did a lot of that too. That was probably the beginning of that.
Of that like style.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, you know, shows like Steven Universe in particular had a lot of influence from Samurai Jack, no question. So
facts.
Also, Samurai Jack and Dexter obviously take place in the same universe.
Yes.
As well as the Powerpuff Girls. All of them.
Yes. And the caveman from Primal is the caveman that Dexter.
Yes, absolutely. 100%, bro. Literally the same like character model, bro.
Crossover, Lord.
Yes. The Jindyverse, boy.
The Jindyverse. All right, man, let's go. Got some honorable mentions, man. Shout out to Regular Show. Shout out to Adventure Time.
I'm surprised Regular Show didn't make your list.
You know, dog, I wanted it to, but I'm really trying to. I kind of was doing this. Really took me back to when I was younger, man. And there were some shows that I really was into that I can't really put Regular Show over. I love Regular Show and it's hilarious, but I can't really put. There's only a couple of these newer shows that I can put on my list, you know.
Yeah.
But let's go, man. Shout out to Regular Show. Shout out to Adventure Time. Shout out to Billy and Mandy. I loved Billy and Mandy.
Sir.
You know, shout out to the New Adventures of Johnny Quest. I was into Johnny Quest. I actually loved Johnny Quest, and I really liked the New Adventures of Johnny Quest, which was the one. Remember they would go to Quest World and it would be like all CGI. Like that was a cool show, man. Like Johnny Quest was dope. I was always into that. You know, his dad was a scientist, and Race Bannon was straight up like a ex-military like spy.
Yeah. No, he was
out here
James Bond, bro.
Killing people. Like Race was literally James Bond. He was his dad's like bodyguard, but Mans was definitely on some James Bond stuff. So shout out to Johnny Quest. All right, man, let's go. Let's get into this top 10, bro. Coming in at number 10. Oh, sorry, one more big honorable mention. Shout out to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends,
yes,
bro. I loved that show a lot.
I didn't like that era, but of all the shows in that era, that was the only one I really liked.
There was a couple shows from that era that I wasn't. There's a couple shows from that era that I liked. I liked Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I liked Billy and Mandy. I know you said you didn't like Chowder, man, but Chowder was funny, bro.
That shit was so stupid.
It was funny,
I did not
bro.
like that show.
Guess what, Joe?
I did not like Chowder, dog. I just thought the main character was so fucking weird. What the fuck was that thing? What even
Chowder's
was going?
a cat, dog.
What was going on in that show?
They were like, she was trying to be a chef.
Okay, yeah, okay. And then there was Flapjack. It also came around the same time.
Yeah, Flapjack. I didn't really care for Flapjack.
Fuck? That era sucked, dog. I'm sorry. I did not fuck with that shit at all, bro.
All right, man. Let's get into this.
I'm sorry, that shit was weak. I mean, also I was like 22. Like,
Yeah, no.
hey, I'm a fucking adult, kinda, and I don't like cartoons anymore. Ass nigga, sort of.
Let's get into this top 10, man. I'm going with a super obscure pick to start my list off because I thought this show was so funny. This show is kind of from the Robot Jones era. And I'm going to start my list off at number 10 with My Gym Partner's a Monkey, dog.
Facts. Good
This show, first of all, is hilarious. Second of all, it reminded me of like an old 90s Nickelodeon cartoon. That's what My Gym Partner's a Monkey reminded me
For
of.
sure.
And I think that's why I liked it so much. It was hilarious. Like, this show was so funny. I loved the kid, the main character. It was funny. It was just a really good show. The animation was classic, classic old school cartoon. So shout out to My Gym Partner's a Monkey. That's gonna be my number 10. Let's go. Coming in at number 9 on my top 10. We just talked about this show, man. Like, just the soundtrack and the way. The whole way of just having a cartoon with a bigger world and like bigger stories going on in the background and getting like payoffs and regular cartoons being done in more of an anime style, and that's Steven Universe.
Let's go.
Coming in at number 9. Cookie Cat, he's super duper yummy. Cookie Cat from outer space. Oh man, shout out to Steven Universe, man. Let me drive my van into your heart.
Oh, every song is a banger, bro. They all slap.
All I want to do.
Right. See you turn into a giant woman, bro.
Giant woman.
Let's
all
go.
I want to do. Come on, man. Steven Universe is fire. Love it. Coming in at number 8. Ed, Edd n Eddy, man. I told you when I was a youngster, I was really into Ed, Edd n Eddy, man. I'll never forget. I told you that stupid story where I kept, where I fell asleep with my head underneath my bed. And every time I woke up and hit my head and went back to sleep, it was because I had my alarm set every summer to get up and watch Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Hilarious.
That was my show. Funny. A lot of weird, quirky side characters in that show. But it was good. Like, the animation was a little off-putting.
It was very weird. That was the only reason why I couldn't really get into it.
But I loved this show. It was cool, man. Shout out to Ed, Edd n Eddy. Coming in at number 7, we got the first of a few Jindy shows on this list.
Let's go.
And that's Dexter's Lab. Shout out to Dexter's Lab, man. I mean, it's a classic. Probably, out of all those shows that came from that, what I call like the cartoon era, Dexter's Lab is definitely probably that and Powerpuff Girls, like the 2 most iconic shows from that time. So,
Facts.
Love Dexter's Lab, man. Super dope. Very good. Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage. Omelette du fromage.
Shout out to Mandark.
Mandark. What was his sister's name?
Dee Dee. Dexter's sister?
No, Mandark's sister.
I forgot.
Damn.
But shout out to Dexter's Lab, man. Coming in at number
Lala Vava.
Oh gosh.
Lala Vava Astronomov.
Yeah, she had like the bowl cut with the pigtails coming
dog.
out. Oh my god.
You remember her and Dee Dee had a dance off?
And they was going crazy.
Yeah, they both got their brothers to make them robots.
Bro, and then at the end of the episode they had Dexter dancing with the little jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
Fire.
Dog, best Dexter moment ever was when it was maybe the first episode where he has his like miniature robot suit and he does the dodgeball.
Yes, bro.
Dog, a fire, bro.
Was that the first episode?
It was early.
I think it is.
Might have been the
one of
first episode.
ones, yeah. Coming in at number 6, let's go, man. Another obscure classic. You want to talk about cartoons kind of modeling themselves after anime? Let's go. Symbionic Titan.
Let's go.
Man, this show was so good, and it did not come on very long.
No, it only had like 2 seasons.
Bro, Symbionic Titan was so good. Like, did Jindy Tartakovsky make the show?
I don't think so, but it felt.
It felt like he did, because he did, bro.
He did.
He's the GOAT.
He did.
He did.
It's not drawn in his style, but it has the
not
feel
even
to it.
that, but just like the fights and the way that the characters move. Like the fights were mad fluid. Like you could tell that.
Yeah.
You know, it was his stuff. But yeah, bro, this show so good. Lance, dope character. This is like it was like a Gundam anime.
It was like it reminded me of Big O.
Bro, it did. Yeah, it was like a Gundam anime. Like this show was so dope and wasn't on for very long. But I really liked it. Shout out to Symbionic Titan coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5. My favorite new age cartoon, Craig of the Creek.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man. This show is so good. So many good characters, man. I said it before. There's a character for everybody in Craig of the Creek, man. Like whatever. They always got the big time overarching plot looming in the background in the show. You know, earlier it was the other side of the creek.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The war
Yep.
with the king. You know, the Green Poncho. There's so many sweet characters in the show, man. Like all the different kids, and they all get their little moments. Really dope characters. I love Craig's parents, man. I love. It's so black. It's so black, man.
Yep.
I love. And there's so much. It's just mad relatable. It's a super relatable cartoon. And like I said, man, just good characters, big time story going on all the time. Like now they're doing the thing where they got to find the pieces, and they're kind of doing like an Infinity Stone type of thing. Just a very, very good show, man. They always got they have guests on there. Like they had Dale the Funky Homo Sapien on there playing the robot kid. Just so good, man. I love Craig the Creek.
It's interesting that they've been able to make the show as black as it is, because the creators are 2 white dudes.
That's interesting.
Which is to be honest, I was excited about Craig of the Creek, and then I ended up not watching it right away because I learned that the creators were 2 white dudes.
Okay.
But in the time that I've watched it, it's sufficiently black. So they must have a lot of black folks on the writing staff.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the writers is black for sure. I talked to him before. That's what's up, man. Love Craig the Creek, number 5. Now we about to get a little old school here. I was a really big fan of all the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons that Cartoon Network used to show. So coming in at number 4, we got SWAT Cats.
Let's go.
The Radical Squadron, Razor and T-Bone. Nothing more 90s than SWAT Cats, dog. Some cats and some jet suits. And, oh, man.
Shout out to the homie Randall. That's one of his favorite joints.
Dude, I love SWAT Cats, man. I used to have the toys, had the plane when I was a kid. SWAT Cats is fire. That's my show, man. Love it. Just Razor and T-Bone, man. Like 2 just super cool characters, man.
Yeah, look, the way they were animated, the way they were drawn was so like 90s edgelord.
Right, edgelord, man. Edgelord 90s. Play by my own rules.
Yep.
I don't like the way you guys do things, but you get results. Those type of characters.
This
man.
just reminded me of. So I never had any of the SWAT Cat toys, but I remember them being cool. But it reminded me of, you know who had one of the coldest 90s toys, and it was so underrated and so like not as big a piece of pop culture, bro. Nigga, Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh, Biker Mice from Mars.
The toys were so cold, dog.
Yes. Was it Throttle, Vinny, and Moto?
I don't remember none of them niggas' names.
Biker Mice from Mars, bro.
But the toys were cold because they came with the bikes and everything.
I think I still have one. I'm gonna have to look and see because I'm pretty sure I still have the White Mouse. Was my
white
favorite.
one? Yeah, I remember him.
I think his name was Vinny.
Yep, that's Vinny.
Bro, shout out to all the anamorphic,
the turtle clones.
Ninja Turtle clones, man.
It was so many of them, dog.
Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks, Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
What was the canine police force? What was
Dog.
the name of that show?
I forgot, but I know.
Oh, this one. This is the one I had right here with the robotic arm.
Yeah, dog, fire. God, shout out to the Ninja Turtle clones, man.
Yeah.
So
There's
good.
so many that we missed too. Like,
we only named a couple. There's like literally 20 of them.
yeah. Yo, I had this toy. I had a lot of these guys. I might have had all 3.
And the bikes were so sweet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, biker mice from Mars, man. All right, man, let's get back to this list, dog. So, I mean, technically, SwordCast is kind of a Ninja Turtle, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Freaking
Absolutely.
animal people.
Bro, the weirdest one
the thing I love about SwordCast is the whole, like, everybody's an animal. It's not like, sometimes, like, Ninja Turtles, there's people, and the turtles are, like, the outcasts. Like,
yeah,
and SwordCast, like, everybody's a cat or some type of animal.
Bro, I bet you I still got this nigga upstairs in my room right now. I'm about to go try. I'm gonna find him after we're done here. The weirdest one for sure was Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Bro,
that was so fucking
my
weird.
Goodness. Such a weird. They actually, I feel like they showed up in the Ninja Turtle comic books before.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, and Street Sharks. But let's go, man. Coming in number 3, I'm keeping it with the old school Hanna-Barbera cartoons here. Pirates of Dark Water, dog. Let's go. Little fantasy world. This show was fire. Shout out to Ren. He was the main character. That show was really good, man.
It was.
Like, Pirates of Dark Water was really dope. Ayaz, that was the other the older character that was with Ren and the girl. This show was really dope. I used to read the comic books too. They did like a little comic book run. Another show that I really used to love, man. Shout out to Pirates of Dark Water. There was a point when this was legit. Like, I was really obsessed with this show. Like, I would like cry if I missed it. Like that type of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Pirates of Dark Water was my show. So shout out to Pirates of Dark Water, man. Coming in at number 2, dog. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, but not the CGI one, the original Genndy Tartakovsky one.
Sir.
That one is one of the best Star Wars things in existence. Yep. This was at the time where the prequel movies were kind of fresh, and it's like, dog, we want a Star Wars cartoon. There wasn't one.
Yep.
And this was ridiculous. The way that General Grievous was in this cartoon.
Killer.
Horrifying.
Horrifying.
Scary.
Yeah.
Bruh. Mace Windu fighting an entire army of droids.
That version of Mace Windu, top
Bro.
2 or 3 strongest Jedi ever.
Dog, this dude was unbelievable. Like, this show was awesome. And I remember, I still remember it, man, when they were airing it. I think I was in like 8th or 9th grade, maybe 9th, because I remember the episodes were really short. Remember, they were like 10-minute episodes, and then when it was all done, they showed them together as like a one long thing. So, but yeah, Genndy did that as well, and it was just off the charts.
Did you know there was a Pirates of Dark Water video game?
Yes.
I did not know that. Interesting.
I
didn't have a Super Nintendo, so that's probably why I missed it.
Yeah. But coming in at number 1, man, let's go. Samurai Jack.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. My favorite Cartoon Network show of all time. That show is awesome. Man, so many good episodes, so many good stories. The seasons were all fire. Like I said, I love the new season. The new season was good too. Samurai Jack, man, just a classic. I talked about last time my favorite episode was the ninja one with the shadows. That episode is fire. That's my top 10 favorite Cartoon Network shows, man. Number 10, My Gym Partner's a Monkey. Number 9, Steven Universe. Number 8, Ed, Edd n Eddy. Number 7, Dexter's Lab. Number 6, Symbionic Titan. Number 5, Craig of the Creek. Number 4, SWAT-Cats. Number 3, Pirates of Dark Water. Number 2, Star Wars The Clone Wars with the original Genndy Tartakovsky version. And number 1, Samurai Jack.
Boom.
Boom shakalaka. All right, y'all. Peace.